What do you record on when you're doing your gaming channel?
Yeah, which gaming channel?
When your
is
gaming
that again?
channel, you have.
What game is it that you're playing now? What game are you playing?
Nothing is happening.
You're not playing any game.
Everything's live.
Ian hates games.
What's that? There's a new samurai game or ninja game or something that I want to play.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Is it good?
Yes, it's very good.
So is it PS4 only or?
Yeah, it's exclusive.
Okay. I think I'm gonna.
It's really good though. It's like Sekiro. Did you see Sekiro?
I didn't play that. No.
That was a really good one.
So is it a lot like Assassin's Creed or something like that? Is it you climb around and kill people and stuff?
But it's very like you get hit a couple times, you did.
Oh, that's good shit. I love that stuff.
Fun.
It's like Dark Souls.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sekiro is made by Dark Souls and Ghost of Tsushima.
Those people are so mean. Tom, you would hate this game so much. It literally is if you get hit wrong one time, you're dead. You're just dead. Yeah, and it's the end of the game. It's so unforgiving. It is the most unforgiving, mean game. You cannot button mash. You have to block. It's all, you would hate it so much. You would hate every moment of it.
I don't play a lot of games at all, but like when I'll play them like with friends, I'm the guy I can't remember any of the button combinations. And I'm just like, no, I'm just wailing away. I'll jump up and down. I get all too excited. I'm like, just maybe if I press them harder, I'll do a better job. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
I remember like getting together with friends, Cecil, like with you and like some other friends of ours years ago. And we were playing like the Nintendo Wii. We were playing Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, I do.
And I just spun the Wii around
Hilarious.
on my finger. And like I did pretty good. Like it was like, he's doing all right. Like I'm just spinning it on my
the program where you would, if you moved in a certain way at the certain time, it would award you points. It's almost like when you do the karaoke in those games and it hits a certain thing or whatever.
Right.
And for that game, that the Wii had a little lanyard on the back of the controller. And you just spun it around your finger, and you stood in one position. The other person you were playing against, I think it was Michelle. She was doing all kinds of crazy dances.
Doing all the moves and shit.
She's fucking moonwalking. She does a head spin at one point, and you're just standing there spinning around your finger. It was hilarious. It was super great. Yeah, that was good shit.
You know, the only game I can remember that's similar. Do you remember that Bushido Blade game?
Yeah, I love Bushido Blade.
Oh my God, that game made me mad.
God, I love that game so much.
Be standing there and it's like,
it is.
Just have to be like faster and better coordinated than somebody else. I'm like, I'm not faster or better coordinated than anybody.
Oh man, I'll tell you, some of the best times I've ever had. I have friends, and I fence recreationally. And I had a bunch of my fencing friends over, and we stayed up all night long playing Bushido Blade, and we were crying with laughter. It was the best shit ever. It's so fun because it is so unforgiving. It's literally it's like you're fighting with lightsabers. The moment you touch someone, they immediately shoot blood out like they were ready to pop. It's fucking amazing.
I have to imagine that's what it would be if you got hit with a samurai sword.
Sure, yeah. I mean, absolutely, and it's. But it's so funny though because even like the tiniest nick on their hand and their whole arm would like flop off or whatever. That's fucking amazing.
Oh my God, man! If I cut myself shaving, I call in sick to work. Are you kidding me? If somebody hits me with a samurai sword at all, I'd be like, no, that's it. I'm gone. You should consider getting a bigger bottle.
I love this bottle of bourbon. I'm kind of working my way through it. I don't drink a lot, Tom, so I'm pretty proud of that. I don't drink very often. I drink once a week when I'm at the studio, and we would normally have a drink together, but Tom's not here, so
not there.
And I can't really drink more than a shot's worth. I wouldn't drink like a whole 2 or 3 glasses of that. That's not a thing I can do.
Yeah, 3 or 4 glasses, and then I don't even want to drive home. Yeah.
I just sleep in the studio. I just curl up next to Gary.
Yeah, I got a 40-mile drive home on 4 shots of whiskey. Oh God.
Having a good time though. So how's everybody doing? We don't have we had a real rough week in Beirut. We talked about it on the show this week. That was a brutal explosion.
It was insane.
You just saw there was one video of it where it looked like it vaporized this building. It just because the pressure wave just goes right past it. And today I saw something online that said, "How did this building survive? Are you all seeing this or whatever?" And it basically is a conspiracy already based on.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Already doing conspiracy stuff on it. So
man, that's wild.
It's just so insane. It's just like you don't know anything about anything that's in that area, yet you're going to say, how did that building survive? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why it could survive. It could be like solid concrete, could be reinforced concrete. It might not even be a building at all.
Also, like, I just don't know enough about blast wave physics and architecture and how they fucking interact.
Yeah, the key
to
is
all of a sudden be a goddamn expert on these things.
Yeah, but the key
you know why?
is-
Because there's very few fucking experts on these things.
If you spend
And they're
more-
not on your Facebook feed, assholes.
But if you spend more time on the internet, Tom, you'll find out. You'll find this.
Yeah,
You'll find
right,
those
exactly.
secrets, those answers that you're looking for. Yeah.
Did you see the satellite imagery, the before and after satellite
I did not.
imagery?
No, that's probably pretty crazy.
It's fucking, like, before it's like, oh, that's a normal looking port area with warehouseular things. And afterwards you're like, that's been bulldozed for miles.
Yep.
It's fucking insane, man. It's wild.
Yeah.
So
Tom looks like he has a filter on his face. What are you talking about?
Ian, does my face look not good?
It's a little blown out, but it's okay.
What is that? What do you mean blown out? Like, do I have to go get, like, call a surgeon or something?
The lights.
The light? I've
Or
changed
it's the
nothing.
ISO or so. Yeah, I mean, we could change it.
Week to week, I change nothing, and it's different.
You're just an Instagram model. It's fine.
How's that?
You
That's
look
cool.
like you should be on a beach somewhere, Tom.
That's true.
Well, I feel like I should be on a beach somewhere, but
He's sun-kissed.
everything is closed. Everything is closed, Cecil.
Someone
why
said
it's
it looks
closed?
pretty. Looks pretty. Someone
We got
said.
the pretty filter.
You got the pretty filter.
Look at that. Ramirez thinks I look handsome. Thank you, Ramirez. Ramiro. I don't know who you are, but I think you are handsome as well. Tom is too bright. I don't hear that very often.
Yeah, that's a nice compliment too. I
Again,
like
I'll
that one.
take it.
Yeah, take
It's
it.
fine.
Yeah. All right. So what do we want to do today? We got a bunch of clips to watch.
Well, let's watch.
So
them,
we should get started.
Let's do it.
Tom, you want me to turn you toward the TV? You saw these already.
Yeah. I listened to it. I didn't actually watch it. I listened to it on
perfect.
YouTube.
Yeah, okay. So
while I was driving.
let me turn you, Tom. I don't want to spill anything. So give
Somebody
me a
says
second.
can't see those wrinkles. Wrinkles. How dare you?
I
a lot
have
of wrinkles.
Since
A lot-
Trump
a
came
lot.
in, I have a wrinkle here that starts because I'm constantly furrowing my brow. All right,
I have that like angry wrinkle because like I have shitty vision, so I squint all the time.
I hope I don't.
I
pull
furrow
anything
my
out of
brow,
here.
so everyone
Tom,
just
can you
thinks
see
I'm
that?
mad at everyone.
Can you see the TV yet?
I got it. Yep, there you go. Whole thing. It's in view.
All right.
Beautiful. Look at that.
I can't see you, but I can see the TV too.
Look at
So
that.
here we go. We're going to be covering some. These are okay. So now this is from Fast Company. 11 jaw-dropping moments from the Trump's flabbergasting Axios interview. Tom, let's talk before we get into the pieces itself. Let's talk for a minute. I'm going to turn you just a touch so I can actually see you, kind of. Let's talk a little bit about the interview itself. What were your impressions overall? Because we both of us watched the whole thing, the whole 45 minutes. What were your impressions overall?
Impressions in terms of how well the interview was conducted, or just
I mean,
like
any impressions that you want to put on me right now? How well the interview conducted? What did you feel while you were watching it? Things like that.
Oh, I as far as what I felt the only thing you can feel, which is a fucking impotent sense of rage. I mean, honestly, a completely impotent sense of rage. Like the interview was conducted, I think, as well as it possibly could have been, in that like he's like the only guy that asked follow-up questions and kind of tries to hold Trump's feet to the fire a little bit, like doesn't let him
even with follow-up
wiggle
questions
all the time.
Even with follow-up questions, Trump literally ignores him.
He just doesn't
Constantly.
answer.
He just constantly,
Doesn't even answer. It's so fucking frustrating to watch that guy and to listen to that guy and to think like during this time that guy shouldn't be the fucking city council leader. And I'm not even kidding. That guy would get kicked out of any respectable office. Like if he showed up at like your work, Cecil, and tried to like lead a meeting, he would be laughed out of the room. He would be laughed out of the room in any meeting I was ever in. He would be laughed out of the fucking room as a goddamned imbecile.
I will say that I vacillated in this interview between laugh out loud funny moments and stark raving terror that he's in charge, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep those two things in check, because it's genuinely, I just feel this sense of terror when I hear him talk about stuff that he has no idea what he's talking about. And don't get me wrong, like some of the things that he's trying to deal with are difficult problems. I mean, I'm not saying that these problems aren't difficult, right?
No.
I'm just saying he's not the guy for the job. That's all I'm saying, right? He is not the guy for the job. He's not, I don't even know that he's a guy for a job, right? I don't know that, I don't know what job there is that he's for. But I will say, maybe a blow job that he pays a porn star for. But other than that, I don't know what other job he's in for. But genuinely, some of these are so difficult issues that he has no idea. We talked about it many times. He's literally a hammer, and all he's trying to do is fix hammer-related problems. That's it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I would be okay to say, it would be appropriate and okay to say, holy shit. I mean, you phrase it a little nicer than this, but holy shit, this is a hugely monumentous time in our history. These are really difficult problems. Talking about like the Black Lives Matter issue, but say, these are issues that have existed in our country since the country has existed. And to pretend that I sitting here have the answers to them would be disingenuous. But, I can sympathize with the plight of the, Black Americans and Black and brown.
It's so easy.
You could do this, and
it's
you could
easy.
not have the answer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And recognize the problem.
Yeah, and shit out a bunch of platitudes. Just shit out a bunch of platitudes, and you're fine.
But even beyond that, you could say, like, look, I don't have the answer. I recognize there's a problem, and you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the right people to address it. I shouldn't be the guy who fixes this problem because I don't have that answer.
Right.
So what I can do is I can find the right people, and we can do this, and here's how we start that dialogue. Like, you don't have to be I think he feels like he's the guy who has to have every answer. And that's like not his actual fucking job. His job is not to know what to do with the coronavirus. It's not.
Yeah.
His job is not to know what to do with like how to fix race politics in America. It's not his job. But his job is to find the right people to do that work.
Yeah.
And to trust their work and to like lean on expertise. The problem is like he thinks he's a goddamn king.
Yeah.
And he thinks like all decisions must pass through him.
Which
He's
is
a piece of complete shit,
which is crazy, because there's so many times that he says stuff that he's completely he doesn't have any knowledge of. So he'll say something out loud, and you watch this thing and you watch him talk for 25 straight minutes, and he doesn't do anything except for try to turn it into some narcissistic jerk off session that the reporter is not having.
Yeah. He's not interested in that at all. Like, Trump tries a couple of times to turn the conversation into like, well, a lot of people, most watched, best ratings, guy didn't come to my shit. It's like, no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
He calls him out on it twice. He's like, no one's talking about that. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about public health here.
Right.
Talking about, like, how do you feel about John Lewis? Like, not whether or not you think he should have come to your fucking inauguration.
Yeah. All right, let's watch the first one, Tom. This is Trump talking about reading manuals. So here we go. All right.
And
I'm going to make it nice and large so everybody can see it. Tom, you can see that?
Things got moved a little bit, so it's off center now.
Okay, let me move it a little
I've only
bit.
got like his one
bit.
shoulder. There we go. Oh God, is he ugly?
Oh, there we go. All right, folks,
Can we change it back so I don't have to see him?
Here we go. This is from the interview, the Axios interview.
And there are those that say you can test too much. You do know that.
who says that?
Oh, just read the manuals, read the books.
Manuals?
Read the
What
books.
manuals?
Read the books.
Manuals. You already stopped Manuel from coming in from the border. You stopped him. So that's why you can't read the manuals.
Okay, I already am glad I'm watching this and not just listening. I listened to this while I was driving the other day, and like watching it is great because the fucking interviewer is just sitting there with his hands just clasped, just like comfortably, and he's just like, what manuals?
Yeah.
What doesn't even make any sense?
Yeah.
What books? What manuals? Like, who says this? I do like that he calls Trump out in the thing that Trump does, which is a lot of people say, a lot of people, he just throws out this idea of these theys and the thems.
Yeah.
And he never identifies who any of them are. So just like, who? Read the books.
Yeah.
What books?
Exactly.
What manuals? What are you fucking talking about?
You said a thing, and now you're not going to follow. You're just saying, and then he just blows right past it in a second. He's going to blow right past it in a second. But I do say, all of his expressions are fucking gold. They're absolute gold because they're what everybody else who's watching is thinking. This guy is the everyman. He's the everyman. Look at his face right now. Put him up on the screen, Ian.
Like,
look
what?
at his face right now. Look at how he's fucking like, what the fuck is happening? What are you talking about? I cannot believe I had to ask you that question, and that's your dumbass answer, is what he's saying. All right, let's finish this. So he asked him twice. He said, what manuals, what books, and then so we're gonna play it here. So
Read the books.
Manuals?
Read the books.
What books?
What testing?
he doesn't even. He just fucking. He doesn't even answer. What books?
Yeah.
What testing does is he just fucking skips right over it.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. John. Let me explain. What testing does? It shows cases. It shows where there may be cases. Other countries test. You know when they test? They test when somebody's sick. That's when they test.
Okay.
And I'm not
Sorry,
saying
you got to
they're
pause
right
it
or
already.
wrong.
That's
Nobody's
what
done
we
it
did
like
for the
we've done it.
longest time.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, the only way that you could get a test was when like somebody had like the COVIDs and was dying.
Yeah.
Like the only people for like the first like 4 months of this thing that could get a fucking test were people that were in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like that was like our play. We can't like pat ourselves on the back because all of a sudden we started to get things right after it was already out of fucking control.
Well, and the first
What?
COVID test was they turned you into a dart and threw you into a board, and if you stuck on COVID, you had COVID. We didn't know. We had no idea what we were doing. Most of those tests were false. You were telling me when we first started testing, Tom, weren't the test rates, the failure rates down to 20% failure rate or something like that? It was something
Well, the
obscene.
antibody tests were
Yeah.
awful.
It was
the
something
antibody
obscene.
tests have
Yeah.
come back much better.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and like, but I remember like when the beginning, because like you and I were sick. You and I were both sick personally, and back in February, and like, I wanted to find out, like, oh shit, like this thing was just starting to become a thing. Like, can I get a test? And the answer was a hard no. You couldn't get a test.
Yep.
You just couldn't get one. So like, you don't get to fucking brag about the fact that now in fucking August, you can go get a test. Get the fuck out of here. Somebody's saying in the comments, you still can't get a test without symptoms. That's heavily dependent on where you're at. Here in Illinois, I know for certain that you can. You can just, like, you can fill out a form online on CVS's website.
We have a different system though. The governor in our state has done a pretty good job for the most part of trying to make sure all this stuff is accessible. So,
but all that is really new. Like that stuff isn't 6 months old. Like 6 months ago, you had to have like mad symptoms and you had to have just gotten back from like Wuhan and your name had to be Wuhan.
Yeah.
Like it was like a whole fucking thing.
Sorry, you can't come in. Your name's not Wuhan.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. So here goes. This is the next one. This is Jonathan Swan asking him about this is the best because this is the fucking graph part. And this is fucking laugh out loud funny if it wasn't fucking full of terror that he's running the country.
Take a look at
So this is a couple-minute clip. We'll probably stop it a few times throughout. So here we go.
some of these charts.
I'd love to.
We're going to look.
Let's look.
And if you look at
Yeah.
Let's look.
Started to go up
here's
again.
one. Well, right here, the United States is lowest in numerous.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, God.
So
he can't even read
what I
right
love
now.
about this chart is here's Trump. Trump has in his hand basically printer paper that somebody printed off an inkjet printer. He's the president of the United States, right? You can't get a laminated copy of a fucking, like, you don't have a Kinko's in fucking the White House? You don't have a Kinko's? You can't send this out to get somebody to laminate something for you or make a nice looking chart? Instead, you got these weird, undistinguishable lines with no X or Y axis thing. Nobody can tell what's happening on it, and it's printed on a regular sheet of paper. What the fuck, man? You can't even put a fucking presidential seal on it? God.
Seriously, this is something somebody just whipped up a second ago. Like, if their printer had run out of ink like mine did earlier this afternoon, they'd have been like, I'm not prepared for this interview.
Someone air
can't
printed
do
this off their fucking iPhone, man. Fuck you. You're the president of the United States. You can't have like, it seriously looks like something a little kid drew.
Well, plus, like, he's right now, this interview is a conversation with the constituents, right? He's having a conversation with the constituents through the interviewer.
Right.
And what does he say? He says, United States, we're lowest in numerous categories. And he doesn't name what they are. What does it even mean then?
Yeah,
numerous categories. It's more of this, like,
we're lowest in our
speaking
reaction
without
to the
saying
coronavirus.
anything.
That's what we are. We're lowest in our action against the coronavirus.
Right.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
categories.
Numerous
We're
categories.
lower than the world.
Lower than the
Lower
world.
than
Lower than the
I love
world.
his response, his fucking response, guys. Watch this when he says lower than the world, and then he asks, what does that mean afterwards? It's the best. Watch his face.
numerous categories. We're lower than the world.
Lower than
We're
the
lower
world.
than
What does that
Europe.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What?
God.
What? Wait a minute. Then he says lower than Europe. Okay, if you're lower than the world, we still don't know lower in what. We got Europe is part of the world. Like that would be inclusive in that fucking
God.
Venn diagram, you stupid
What
motherfucker.
What a kick in the balls this interview is, because he can't even look at an Excel sheet and know which column he's looking at. That's how dumb he is.
In what? In what?
Take a look.
In what? In what? And then he can't read
Here's
it.
case
So
death.
take a look.
Oh, you're doing death as a proportion of cases. I'm talking about death as a proportion of population. That's where the US is really bad.
Well,
Much worse than South Korea, Germany, etc.
you can't do that. You have
Why
to go.
can't I do
you
that?
have to-
Again, I froze it at the perfect moment. That is the face.
Look at
That
that
is the
face.
face of 2020, everybody. Right there. That's the face of 2020.
It's just a British guy looking confused, like, what?
Oh
What?
God, he's Australian.
Oh, my
We're gonna get
God.
in trouble for that. You're gonna get in trouble for that, Tom. He's Australian.
Is he? They're all the same.
Yeah.
Australians are just British prisoners.
I just
Whatever.
look. I can't tell white people apart. What do you want from
Yeah,
me?
whatever. You're just former British prisoners. Get over it. It's fine.
Oh, it's so good. It's so perfect. It's such a perfect fucking face that he's making. But you know, Trump is saying, and he's saying that there's two arguments. The argument that Trump is making is, look, when we find out that we have these cases, we are able to treat these cases, and there's less deaths per case, right? But what you miss in that is the more testing you do, the better your numbers are going to look, right? And that's what we were saying from the very beginning. The more testing you do, the better your death numbers look, because all the asymptomatic people out there never go into the hospital, and so you're basically inflating your numbers. But what the interviewer is doing is the interviewer is saying, look, no, I'm talking about deaths per your population,
Yeah.
right? Which is a totally different thing.
Well, and it like you should not be like leading the world in deaths per capita.
Right.
Like that's not a good
Yeah,
thing.
Chicago
And, like,
does that all the time. We're terrible.
that's our Chicago. That's a local thing.
You
God
can't
damn
take
it.
that from us.
What? That's a fucking regional thing, assholes. It's like Jardinera. Deaths per capita is our thing.
Yeah.
Don't take that from us.
You can get on your
But yeah,
subway
like,
here. Yeah.
Trump is really like what he wants to find is only the cases that are serious cases, because he doesn't seem to understand or appreciate, or doesn't want to like demonstrate that like all those cases we find that are not like serious cases where people have mild symptoms and get better. Like that's the reason we have lots of people who have not mild cases and don't get, because they go out and get sick.
That's
and
absolutely
they
true.
infect other people.
Absolutely true.
You
Yep.
have to find every case. The most important cases to find would be the asymptomatic cases, right? Because if I'm fucking double ultra symptomatic, I'm fucking laying at home in bed or in the hospital, probably not going to work, probably not going to the fucking Starbucks, probably not infecting people.
Right.
The most important cases for a disease like this to find are the asymptomatic or like mild symptoms cases, because those motherfuckers are going to wake up and be like, I got a sore throat, but I'm going to work because I got to make money today.
I got a headache, I got a slight fever, whatever it is.
Right.
I'm going to go to work, and I get a bunch of people infected, and I get somebody who's immunocompromised infected, and they're suddenly a death. And maybe their spouse is immunocompromised, and they're suddenly a death. And you know, he's talking in this interview, he brings up hospitalizations, he brings up death, he brings up all these numbers that America is soaring through the stratosphere on, right? We're not even close to anybody else. There's nobody else in the world that's even close to the number of deaths that we have.
We were just looking at this. Cecil and I were just looking at a Times article before we started recording. There's a Times article. It has like a really great graphic. It shows like just in the last month, just in the month of July, 1.9 million cases of coronavirus found in the United States. That's 5 times more than all of Europe, South Korea, Canada, Australia, and somewhere else combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
Yeah.
Like we have the most of this virus.
We are number
the
one.
Most much.
We're number
one.
We're number one. I need a foam finger with a coronavirus on it.
Ugh. and like fucking the president doesn't want to find out who has it. That's the seriously one of his solutions is like, well, let's find out who had it.
That was his solutions. I think he got tricked though, and people said no, don't do that, and then he started like, because we do a lot of tests, and they said in this interview many times you do more testing than anyone else in the world, and that may be true, but the fact is like we're not doing anything with the numbers, right? So you get the data, and then you just say, cool, let's open the schools in Georgia then. No masks, anybody.
They're opening schools in Georgia without any fucking masks or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no social distancing, no masks required.
Yeah.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
All right, I got to unpause it from this guy's face, even though it's fucking absolute treasure in this position.
You have to go by where. Look, here is the United.
Okay, no.
Can't even speak.
Look at this goddamn chart. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. What is that?
That's a baby.
What is that? What is that? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, and this is the best too, because this is where he says we're last, so we're best. Okay, so here we go.
Here is the United States. You have to go by the cases. The cases.
Why not as a proportion of population?
When we have somebody. What it says is when you have somebody that has where there's a case, the people that live from those cases.
It's surely a relevant statistic to say if the US has X population and X percentage of death of that population versus South Korea.
Have to go by the cases.
Well, look at South Korea, for example. 51 million population, 300 deaths. It's like, it's crazy compared to
that.
I do. It's on the.
Don't know that.
You think they're faking their statistics? South Korea?
I won't get into that because they have a very good relationship with the country, but you don't know that, and they have.
I love that.
How do you just hand wave that shit?
I'm not gonna say that they're faking it, but I'm just gonna say you don't know what they say is true. That's saying that they're faking it. What do you mean?
They're not telling the truth. Yeah.
Right.
What are you talking about, man? Oh, it's so funny because, he just, when you say something out loud that contradicts what he has to say, he immediately just bulldozes you and says, nope, that you don't know that that's a true statistic, even though that's what's being reported. And the other option is you're saying South Korea is a liar. They're lying about what they're doing. Now, I certainly don't trust China's statistics, but why would South Korea lie about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like, any country might, I guess, be motivated to lie to, like, show some kind of exceptionalism, or show, like, hey, we're doing a particularly good job of this or whatever. So I'm not saying that there's no motivation to be dishonest, but like, I don't think that, I don't think a country like South Korea is being dishonest about it. And even if they were being dishonest, Cecil, at an order of magnitude level.
Yeah.
Right? So they have 3,000 deaths. Let's say they have 3,000 cases. Okay. All right.
Well, shit, they could have fucking Tom. They could have 30,000 deaths, and it'd still be okay.
We have 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
We have 1,000 deaths a day. Every day we lose every 3 days. It's 9/11.
Yeah. Right.
That's what we've got going on right now. Yeah. Every third day. Yeah. Twice a week with one to spare. It's 9/11.
Yep.
That's the situation we're in. So, like, give me this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here with this nonsense.
Look, here's
Germany low, 9,000.
Here's one right here. United States. You take the number of cases. Okay. Now look, we're last, meaning we're first.
Last. I love that so much. We're last.
That's how you golf. That's how it works in golf.
Look, we're 5 under par with the deaths. That's where we need to be. I asked my caddy which vaccine we should use. So that's where we're at.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what we're first in.
I don't know what we're first in.
And we have cases because of the testing.
1,000 Americans are dying a day.
That's not why we have cases, because of testing. Right. Testing does not create
He says
people
it all
who
the
have
time.
case.
He says it all the time.
Why we have cases.
He says it all. He can't stop saying that out loud. So he's like, he doesn't know whether he likes the testing or not. He knows that, I think he knows that the testing gives him some sort of protection against these massive numbers that we're getting, and so he keeps on latching onto it. But at the same time, out of the other side of his mouth, he keeps saying, well, you know, when you test more, you get more cases, and maybe we shouldn't test more. And it's insane. He doesn't even understand himself.
He does not. He does not. He doesn't know what he wants. He knows that, like, if we don't do testing, he's going to get just chewed alive in the press for not doing testing, right? So, like, he knows he can't do that, but he also knows, like, fuck, but the testing's going to show that we did a bad job controlling this. And that's what he's really afraid of. He's really afraid that the testing is going to reveal his incompetence. And that's exactly what the testing is done.
That's what it's done.
Yep.
Ian, put this back up on the screen. I just want to show the difference color between his ear and his cheek, if we can. Look at this. Look at what's happening here. What is going on here? It's like they just stopped. They only sprayed him in the front. They didn't bother to get the side. Look at that.
He does look fucking
He looks
crazy.
Sound on cases, it's different.
No, but you're not reporting it correctly, Jonathan.
I think I am.
Oh my God! Look at his face. Is amazing
like,
there. His face is amazing.
Americans are dying a day, but I understand on cases, it's different.
No, but you're not reporting it correctly, Jonathan.
I think I am.
I think
If you
I
take a
am.
look at this other
I'm
chart.
pretty confident in this one.
Look, this is our testing, I believe. This is the testing, yeah.
Yeah, we do more tests.
No, wait a minute. Well, don't we get credit for that?
What kind of credit do you want? Do you want extra credit? What do you want? You want a little? You want a fucking gold star? Like, get the fuck out of here! It's not star. The thing is, your fucking testing is not restarting the economy. It's not doing. Tom and I were talking earlier. Could you imagine if you had an ability to get a single day testing? It would change everything if we had a single day testing, and if you could have ample of those testing where you could just look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I need to get this thing done. I got to go to a work seminar tomorrow. I'm going to get tested. You get your coronavirus test. You send it to the people, and you're allowed to go to the work seminar. And it suddenly changes everything. It changes
Everything's different.
everything. But instead, it's this bullshit. Well, we're doing a lot of testing. Yeah, but it's not making a fucking bit of difference. You're not doing it effectively.
Plus, like, you don't get credit for things, you fucking narcissist. Like, it's your job. You signed up for it. Like, this is the thing you're supposed to lead us through this, not like wait for accolades. He's like constantly butthurt that people aren't kissing his ass.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, get out of here with that nonsense. Like, no one is going to be happy until you fixed it.
Yeah.
Because 1,000 people a day are dying.
Yes.
So, like, nobody gives a shit how hard you worked to get us fixed. All that's going to matter is when you fix it. And if you don't like that, you shouldn't be the fucking leader. That's what leadership is. Leadership means you eat shit until the problem is fixed. Then once you fix the problem, then you could take a step back and evaluate if you did a good job fixing it. Yeah. Until then, you eat shit every single day until that fucking problem is resolved.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, don't be the fucking leader. You raised your hand and begged for the goddamn job.
Yeah.
Makes me crazy.
Someone in chat says, if you have to pay for tests, what happens if you can't afford one? That's another thing that I think should not happen. That should not be passed on to a consumer, right? The United States government should be picking up the bill for those things. We should be, because if you test correctly, you can suddenly create revenue in your country at a huge level, in a huge way. It could change how everything works in this country. If you had immediate, accurate testing, it would change everything about how this economy runs. It would change everything about how education runs. It would change, you'd be able to drop your kids back off at daycare. You'd be able to go out to a restaurant. Everything would reopen. It would just, if people were responsible with it and did it, and it was provided by the government, it would change the economy 100%. But we don't have access to those tests.
Yeah, I will say that most insurance companies, it's free.
Yeah,
so
but
all
the
major insurance carriers, But if you don't have insurance, I don't know. I know that if you go to one of the, so like in Illinois, we've got the big public testing sites that you have to go to and wait in your car for about 6 hours.
Don't they take
those are free too?
Yeah, but don't they take like 25 days to get your fucking message back from them though too?
No, those are faster now than the private labs.
Oh, that's good.
So it was that way. Yeah, so it's changed. It was that way. So now you can go to one of those big free testing sites. You still have to wait for hours in these long lines in your car, typically.
Yeah.
But you do get results back usually within 24 to 48 hours now. What's that?
What if you don't have a car? Is there a walk-up line?
Oh, no. Fuck you. Get out of America.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It's a good question, Cecil. But I didn't go to that because it's seriously like a 5 or 6 hour wait.
Yeah. I'll just bring a podcast. I'll just go with my cognitive dissonance podcast and listen.
But yeah, a lot of the like CVS, it's free. So it depends on where you're at.
Hey,
whether or not it costs anything.
Ian, do we still have those things that we run on there where people can like subscribe and stuff? Do we still have those or no?
Yeah. I mean, they show up.
Do they? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I want to ask everybody too, if you're at a place right now, wherever you're at, you're watching this, wherever you're at, if you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Twitter, you're watching on Twitch. I think I named them all. There might be another one I missed. Go and subscribe or like whatever it is to try to make sure that you can see these more often. And then there's I know on YouTube, isn't there a bell, Ian? Is there like a little?
You can hit notification bell. Also on Facebook, I believe.
Okay, so listen to Ian because he knows more than I do. And hit the notification bell, and then we can you'll know that when we go live and stuff. So just take a moment right now. We'll pause for a second. We're gonna pause for station identification for a second, just for you to go over and press.
Also
the
on
thing.
Instagram.
Oh, we're on Instagram too, and on
How the fuck are we
Facebook.
on Instagram.
On Facebook, we have a bunch of on Instagrams. We Photoshop Gary's face on a lot of things, and I think those get posted to Instagram. And those also go to Facebook too, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're the same.
Yeah, we Photoshop Gary's face onto a lot of different things, a lot of different various poses. I actually came over to the studio one day and I took 25 photos of Gary in a circle so you can get him literally every angle he's looking. And so Gary's face is, at one point, Kevin's, what's that guy from Patrick Swayze? Is that his name? That's his name. Patrick Swayze from Dirty Dancing is dancing with Gary, and on and on and on. So you can check it out. And everybody loves Gary. And also, Ian, you should post the link for the merch because I'm wearing a t-shirt today. This is a Cog Disc t-shirt. Very, very comfortable. One of the most comfortable podcast shirts you can get on the market right now. Genuinely comfortable. It's like one of my favorite shirts. I'm not even kidding. Tom, what is American Apparel?
It's American Apparel. It's their tri-blend shirt.
It's such a great shirt.
Nice shirt.
Oh, it's such a great, so comfortable. It's thin. It's wonderful. And it's got a Cog Disc logo on it. There's also some citation needed merch in there. But the Cog Disc one and the Secular Thinky Person one are really great ones. You can buy those. We hope to have mugs soon. Ian, when are we going to have mugs?
Yeah, when's the mugs, man?
Soon.
What does soon mean?
Soon as, what are you, Trump?
Or
Trump,
later.
Jesus.
Tremendous.
God damn it.
All right. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play more of this.
All right.
And because we do more tests, we have more cases. In other words, we test more. Now take a look. The top one, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. The top, Jonathan.
If hospital rates were going down and deaths were going down, I'd say terrific. You deserve to be praised for testing, but they're all going up.
They very rarely talk.
60,000 Americans are in hospital.
If you watch the
1,000
news
dying
or
a
read
day.
the papers, they usually talk about new cases, new cases, new cases.
That's the thing is he's focused on one thing, right? He's only focused on one thing. The new
He's not
cases,
addressing the 60,000 people in hospital and 1,000 deaths a day.
Right.
He won't address that.
Talking about death.
Well, you look at
going
death.
up.
Death is way down from where it was.
It's 1,000 a day. It was 2,500. It went down to 500. Now it's going up
Death.
again.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it is going up. I saw it today.
Yep.
It's going up again. There's a weird chart. I guess it's because they have to take a couple days to get their information because it keeps on going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, all the way across. And so I suspect that there's gaps in information that they get, and then they tally it all together at one point. But the bigger numbers are up to 1,300 again. So we're half where we were at our worst day.
Yeah, we are not, and like the guy points out, what the Jonathan Swan or whatever. Like, yeah, it went down. Now it's going back up. Like,
Right.
we didn't fix the fucking problem.
Right. You didn't.
The problem
fix
is
it.
not fixed. The problem would be fixed if it went down and then continues only to go down. The problem is not fixed when it goes down and then goes back up again.
back up again. It's not a fucking seesaw,
solve
man.
a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Look, if you get a DUI on Friday and then you didn't get a DUI on Saturday and then you get a DUI on Sunday, it doesn't mean you don't have a drinking problem.
That's very
right?
true.
You can't be like, well, it went down on Saturday.
Yeah.
You were hungover.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Someone asked if we have shirts or mugs on Cafe Press. We used to do Cafe Press, but then we found a local. So there's somebody who listens to the show who's local in Chicago who makes all of these shirts by hand.
And they're awesome.
They make all that. So we don't outsource this to some big, Cafe Press site or some random, company that's what they do, some imprint or something. We don't do that. This person lives in Chicago. They have a silk screen machine and they make every single one of these T-shirts by hand. So
yeah, and Mike is actually listening right now.
Yeah.
I saw a comment from him. Hey,
Yeah.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Thanks for the shirts, man.
Hey,
They're
Mike, you do a
awesome.
great job. You do a great job, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, where the fuck are our mugs? But no, they're great people. They're listeners to the show, and the thing is, they produce great stuff. It's like we wouldn't use them if they gave you a shirt with a hole in it, moth holes, and it was fucking ratty. They're great. They do a good job. So you should trust them. Hi, Mike.
Hey,
Welcome
guys.
to the show, Mike. Thank you. All right, so here we go. It's Mike and Lauren, right? That's Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, Mike and Lauren.
Where it was is much higher than where it is right now.
It went down and it went up again.
But now it's going down again. It's going
up.
down and
It's
now
going up again. It's just like, no.
I love he looks him right in the face and he's like, it's going up. No,
Yep,
it's going up. Yeah.
going down in Florida.
Nationally,
It's going down in Texas. Take a look at this. These are the tests.
It's going down in Florida?
Yeah, it leveled out and it's going down. That's my report as of yesterday.
Okay, so I want to talk about it going down in certain places, especially places that have had huge spikes. One of the things I want to talk about is when these spikes happen, people around them suddenly start seeing grandma die, grandpa die, great aunt Kathy die, and they start taking precautions. So the reason why I think we're seeing some of these places that had these crazy spikes start to go down is because people in those areas that were out, partying, drinking at a boat, doing whatever they were doing, they suddenly see all these people around them start to drop off like flies, and then they start following all of the guidelines that keep other people safe. And so they naturally go up and down because of like an empathy index.
Yeah, well, also, like, I don't think that that's true that Florida, like, I think Florida's surging again. I don't think that information
You're right.
is accurate.
You're absolutely right.
From everything I've read.
I want to be 100% clear that I'm saying I'm taking his
word for
it and what he's saying at face value, and I don't know what the actual numbers are. I only looked at the United States today. I didn't look at all the states. But I will say, like even if that's true, even if he's saying it's true, it's not because of anything he did. It's because of his inaction that it's going down.
Yep. Exactly. Like it goes down because, like you said, it scares people.
Right.
Like, if people start taking it more seriously because they start to see people dying. There's a comment on here right now from Lucas. We just got a mask mandate here, so I think that will be huge. What do you mean you just got a mask mandate?
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with states that don't have a goddamn mask mandate? We need a federal mask mandate. That's what leadership would be. A federal mandate.
I don't know how to set this. Let me see if I can set this up for just Texas. I have a graph here. Let me see if I can look at it.
Yep.
I can only do United States on here.
The Times has it. Really
here we go. Oh, here we go. I got it. So let me look at Texas right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it on the big screen in a second. Holy shit. Look at this spike. Jesus, fuck you. Look at that fucking spike. And you're right, Tom. It's going back up.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that spike.
Look at Florida.
1 day death. Let's go up to Florida. Yeah, Florida's going back up again. Oh, it's going back down. What, by 5 deaths? Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. It's not a significant change.
I'm curious
Florida's
where
still a
Illinois
goddamn
is.
disaster.
Let's see where
I'm
Illinois
looking
is.
at the New York Times. Total cases in Florida, 510,000 per 100,000, 2,376 cases in the last 7 days. 51,316.
Yeah.
Cases per 100,000 in population, 239.
Look at Illinois here, Tom.
Yeah, Illinois done pretty well.
Illinois. Let's take a look at New York too, because New York was fucking hit super hard. And look at Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois had a rough go of it, right? Illinois is catching 191 deaths in the middle of May, right? That's a big hit for a state of our size. And so let's take a look at New York. See what's up. Flat. Look at that fucking shit right there. Look at that
That's
shit.
leadership.
Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look at that
But
shit.
seriously,
Look
that
at
is
that
the
shit
result
in comparison
of effective fucking leadership.
Look at that shit in comparison to every other fucking red state. I can go through all these fucking red states.
Go to Georgia.
And you're going to just see constantly. Look at all these fucking things. I'll just go to all of them. Like fucking Georgia. Here we go. Look at Georgia's a fucking mess, man. It's been a mess. It's like someone having a heart attack. Look at that. Georgia's a fucking mess. It's been a mess forever. Yep. Indiana's doing really well. I'm surprised. I hate Indiana. I'm surprised.
I hate Indiana too.
I hate Indiana so much. Gosh. All right, so let's see. Well, I'm going to look up one more. I'm curious what Montana's doing. Montana, look at fucking Montana, man. And I know these aren't big numbers, right? These are tiny numbers because nobody lives in Montana. But still, it's still spiking.
Who are they catching it from?
I don't know, like horses giving it to each other?
Go to Nevada for me.
Nevada's going down by a lot, too. And Nevada never really had it that bad when you talk about deaths.
Can you do California?
Yeah, California, I hear, is pretty bad. So
Well, it's changing a lot. See, for a state that size, though.
Yeah. No, it's not bad for a state that size. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. But you know, like you look at some of these places and you think, I mean, especially some of these red states. When you get into some of these red states, and you wonder what the fuck is happening down there. I want to look at one of the Carolinas. Which Carolina should I do?
South Carolina is the worst one, but North Carolina is more populous.
Let's do South Carolina. Well, okay, let's do South Carolina. Yeah, again, it's a disaster. Well, in comparison to the graph, and look, I know it's only a couple. You know, we're talking 80 people at their max. It's not,
but it shows the trend line.
But
the
it's
trend
definitely
line is
the trend line makes sense.
Yeah. Go to North Carolina. Let's see North Carolina.
I just did. That was North Carolina. Oh, no, I did.
I thought it was South. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right. I did South Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina's a fucking mess. It's been a mess forever. So, yeah, these are all fucking crazy. These are all just insane. So, you know, you see the states where somebody's doing a good job and somebody's trying to do the best that they can, and then you see the states where somebody is fucking they just fucking don't give no fuck.
Nope.
All right, let's do one more and then we'll bounce. So this is the last one. This is the inauguration. So this is Trump and Jonathan Swan talking about the inauguration. Let me pause it. Here we go. It's a minute long.
John Lewis is lying in state in the U.S. Capitol. How do you think history will remember John Lewis?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know John Lewis.
Can you say I don't know more fucking times in a row?
I don't know.
I love that he says I don't know John Lewis too.
No. Yeah. I have to know somebody to know things about him.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing, Cecil. If I haven't met somebody personally, I have no way to know anything about that person.
I never met Martin Luther King, so I have no idea about his legacy. I just don't know.
I mean,
what
is he any good?
legacy?
I don't know.
I don't know him. I just don't know who he is.
You know what? He never came to my birthday party.
You know, when
I only know people that come to my birthday
when
party.
I went to the strip club and I invited him, he didn't come. So
I don't know John Lewis. He chose not to come to my inauguration.
Oh, and that that is absolutely fucking picture perfect narcissist, right? The first thing he says is, "I don't know him, but here's how it affected me." Right?
Here's how it offended my feelings.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't come to my inauguration. Get the fuck out of here. Why do you even care to know that? Are you counting your Facebook likes?
That is seriously it.
The fuck is wrong with you?
That is seriously it. He is counting his Facebook likes. That's exactly it.
He chose. I never met John Lewis. Actually, I don't believe.
Do you find him impressive?
I can't say one way or the other.
Okay, I want everybody to pay attention to him. Go, tell me Alec Baldwin doesn't fucking nail that moment every time he pretends he's Trump, every time he impersonates Trump. This is an affectation that Alec Baldwin absolutely nails every time.
Impressive?
I can't say one way or the other. I find a lot of people impressive. I find many people not impressive. But I didn't.
But no, he says no at the end of the whole thing. I don't know if you guys caught that. He says, I find a lot of people impressive, a lot of people unimpressive. But no, I don't find him impressive. You answered the question with no, so fuck you. I heard it.
You find his story impressive?
He didn't come to my inauguration. He didn't come to my State of the Union speeches.
My widow Paul.
That's right. And
my
again,
feelings.
Nobody has done more
But
for
back
black Americans than I have.
I mean, the civil rights is nothing in comparison to what Trump has done for black people. You know?
Unfucking believable what he's about to say here.
Yeah, it's what I love is when he says that out loud. He says that all the time. Nobody has done more. But what he doesn't realize is that the more is, more federal officers arresting you at your peaceful protest. That's the more. He just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't want to say that out loud. More, whatever.
He's also talking like what he'll justify it with. He says, I've done more for African Americans than any other president. And he talks about how the economy got better, and so African American citizens, as a result of the economy's improvement, which he gives himself all the credit for, their ship also rose, right? But he cannot cite anything specific except for like the one thing that he did do, and I think it was not useless. Is there was some legislation that he signed off on. And it's escaping my memory.
Criminal justice reform?
But it was criminal justice reform.
Yeah.
That was not valueless. So like that was okay. He signed off on that. It wasn't his initiative. He didn't lead it, but he signed off on it. So I don't know if I'm giving him credit for not vetoing it.
Right.
But
yeah,
fine.
I mean, that's, that's the thing is he's not orchestrating these bills. He's not the one who's drafting. Trump has never drafted anything in his life.
Right. Yeah, and it's not like he's saying like, here are the things I did specifically and intentionally to help black communities. He's basically saying like, as an after effect of overall improvements in the economy, you know, turns out black people want a little bit around the edges sometimes. You know, it's unavoidable.
Who doesn't?
We're trying to get the white guys rich, and
doesn't?
occasionally,
Who doesn't?
you know, black people occasionally make $5 too.
Can we talk, Tom, just really briefly about how every chair he looks like he's shitting? Like, why does he look like he's taking a crap? Like, what is wrong?
He does sit in a chair like he's pooping. We should get him a squatty potty.
He should get a squatty potty. I think every chair he should have a squatty potty on so he can fucking...
He should have come. But I think he made a big mistake.
But taking your relationship with him out of it, do you find his story impressive, what he's done for this country?
He was a person that devoted a lot of energy and a lot of heart to civil rights, but there were many others also.
Well, why would you say that out loud? Like, who cares that there's others? Like, yeah, people can't do things on their own, but you can be an integral part of something and have people think that you did a lot. God. What the fuck?
Why would you take something away from, like, you know, you rescued somebody from a burning building, but you weren't the first one and only one that ever did it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
You didn't invent rescuing people from burning buildings. What's wrong with you?
You know, maybe if you'd gotten there before the building was on fire, you wouldn't have even had to rescue them. That would have been even better. Building wouldn't have been damaged. Buildings are more important than people.
There's a petition to rename the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama as the John Lewis Bridge. Would you support that idea?
I would have no objection to it.
Yeah.
Do you hear how he how he pronounce it? Like, it's like, I would have no objection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just say yes. Sounds like a great idea. He was an amazing leader on civil rights. Like, I think the bridge should be named after him instead of a former Klan wizard.
It's so easy, right? It's such an easy fucking
like the Edmund Pettus, but that guy was a former Klan grand wizard. Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you serious? That's amazing.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking monster.
Hey, Alabama. I normally would say never change, but what I want to say is just change. Change, Alabama. Change. Please change. What is wrong with you down there? You know, I was watching a movie the other day about the civil rights movement. And you know, something that I absolutely had no idea about, Tom, and this blew me away. I guess and again, you know, we're not taught a lot of this stuff in school, so I just don't. I never really knew a lot about the civil rights movement. I knew all the big parts, all the big moving parts that you learn in a civics class, but I never really knew about sort of, you know, the little pieces of it. And, you know, it was a very base sketch is what I'm trying to say. There wasn't anything really filled in.
Yeah. Broad strokes.
And one of the things that I learned the other day was I'm watching this footage and I see on the side of the road people holding up Nazi symbols with white power on it. And I thought to myself, that was a way more recent addition to things because it feels even more absurd. Now, it feels absurd today. Don't get me wrong. It fucking feels stupid and absurd. People should remember, we fought a war. They lost that war. Don't use a loser's fucking insignia. It's stupid. There's a reason they lost that war. But the fact is it's what, you're 20 years out of the World War II at that point? People that have fought against Nazis may be the ones holding those symbols up. It blew me away. I totally didn't realize that the Nazi symbol was used back then as a way to, again, intimidate black people. I didn't realize it.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I thought that was much more recent.
Yeah, I had no. There's images of them showing the Nazi symbol on the side, handwritten, terrible signs with misspellings.
I had no idea.
Bunch of idiots. But yeah, I mean, fucking blew me away. I had no idea. I thought for sure they would have, at least back then, closer to the war, would have pushed. There would have been a lot more pushback on that, but I guess not.
I mean, like the timing. Jesus
Christ.
I'd like to do it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Would have no objection to it whatsoever.
Okay.
No objection.
No objection to it. Did I skip over the Julian Maxwell? Let's talk real quickly about the Julian Maxwell. I won't play it, but I'm going to turn you back so I can see it.
I've got a cameo appearance here.
Oh, there we go. He's finally there. He's going to hit you in the face.
Yeah. He doesn't like being picked up.
He does not like it.
He doesn't like it at all. He's going to be mad at me for a week. But he climbs over my shit every time I record. So I had to give him an opportunity.
Nice. What's the cat's name?
That is Rupert.
That's the one that bit me when I was over at your house.
Yeah, he bites. He doesn't do that as much
It's
anymore.
it's not great to pet a cat that bites, it turns out.
He's calmed down.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that as much
Yeah.
anymore. So he
So-
hasn't bitten probably a year or so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when he was still pretty little, like young wise, and yeah, he bit like elbows and he would bite like the backs of your ankles and stuff.
Yeah.
Now
I
he's
just
calmed down,
reached
he
down to
doesn't
pet him and he bit me. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that anymore. So
so let's talk about the Julian Maxwell for a second.
yeah,
The Julian Maxwell comment, he's doubled down on that twice. And Jonathan Zwan says, look, she's accused of running a child sex trafficking ring. And he
Yeah.
says, I just want to wish her well. And the crazy part of that conversation is where Trump doesn't know whether he killed himself or was murdered in prison. Did you see
yeah.
that?
Trump's like on the Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself train.
He doesn't know. The
I think-
president of the United States doesn't know. That guy has the codes to
Oh,
fucking
good
nukes
Lord.
everybody.
It's like, yeah, she's being accused of like sex trafficking children. He's like, I don't know that. And he's like, that's what she's being fucking accused. That's what she was arrested of. What are you talking about?
Okay, I got to hand it to Ian here. Ian posts in the chat, speaking of pussy, use the code GLORIA. Check out adamandeve.com. Way to go, Ian. Good for you. That's so good. That's so good. Everybody in chat, what should they do if they appreciate something, Ian? What's a thing that they can do?
They can like and subscribe. And
What can they write in chat? What can they write in chat? Okay, everybody type in chat. If you like Ian's commercials, type I love Ian in the chat. If you like Ian's commercials, I'm going to type it too.
I'm going to type it.
I'm going to type it. We're both going to type it. So here we go.
Donate? Yes. Definitely.
There we go. I just typed it too. You got to say
Doubt
it.
Ian
There we
this.
go. There we go.
I like doubt Ian this.
Doubt his commercials are great. The commercials always crack me up. I wish I had a part in them. They're so funny.
I tolerate Ian.
Someone's got to type I'm disappointed in Ian. Last week that was amazing.
Last week.
Oh, it's so
still
good.
going.
Look at that. Look at all that love,
Oh,
Ian.
they love you.
Look at
Ian.
all that
They
love.
you, buddy.
Okay, thank
good
you.
Stuff. All right. Well, we're at an hour. We got to bounce, everybody. We hope you guys come back next week. Make sure you do the likey, subscribe stuff, whatever, so you guys come back next week. Ian, really quickly, put the clip channel in on the chat. Type the clip channel in.
I have no objection to Ian.
So Ian's gonna put in chat right now to all your chats. He's gonna put the clip channel. Every week, we go through the trouble of clipping out these shows that we do. And so you don't have to watch the whole show. You can just watch a clip or listen to a clip. If you have YouTube Plus, I think you can just listen to it with the browser closed or with your phone closed or whatever. And so you can hear these if you want, and they're all clipped out already. So Ian's going to put it in there. Just go and subscribe to it. Every week, we clip these things out so you guys have access to a shorter version of this particular live stream, and they're all set up that way. So once Ian posts that in, so Ian can so you can go and he'll get to it eventually. He's all right. There we go. Thank you, Ian.
All right.
So
Look
go
at
to
that.
that. Everybody go to that. Click on that when we're done here, and then just go and you will be able to subscribe to that channel. Click subscribe, and that way you can access all of the clips that we put together. All right, everybody, we're gonna bounce. We gotta leave. So take care, everyone. And
All
we'll
right,
catch you guys
guys, thanks so
next
much.
week. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully Trump does another interview. Bye, everybody. So long.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Take care.
Is this after show content, or are we just?
Are we just?
I don't
Should
know,
we
Ian.
banter?
Ian,
in
why
an
don't you
amusing
tell us something? Tell us something interesting. What's something interesting?
Yeah, tell us a story about like
a gaming channel or something.
stream or
Yeah,
something,
like
like
a gaming channel. Is there a game?
Sake.
What do
No.
you do for that?
Okay, I'm turning it off. No.
What?
No.
Every week, you want me to do after show banter? It's gonna be
I
your
mean,
channel.
hit
It's
it up with
your
the
channel.
I
every
want to
time.
know about your channel.
There's
Every
no
time.
anecdotes you have in your
We
life.
don't have any